Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Boss Memory Lane, Beaconhouse Old Student Society Memory Lane. We have a dynamic person with us, star of Garden Town Campus, Danish Muneef Qureshi. He did his O-levels and A-levels from Beaconhouse Garden Town Campus. Currently, he is the head of sales and marketing of My Clinic, Saudi Arabia. He is visiting Pakistan, and what a good time to have him on Boss Memory Lane. Welcome to Boss Memory Lane.
Thank you so much.
Let's take the trip down the memory lane. The most memorable incident at Beaconhouse Garden Town Campus.
Actually, there's not one incident that I could recall. My entire time at Beaconhouse Garden Town has been a very memorable experience for me. Learned a lot from my teachers, learned a lot from my peers. Debating was my passion. Dramatics was my passion. I think if I recall all of that, it was one of the most important and most memorable time for me. I think if I recall, मेरा ख्याल है कि जो हमने प्ले किया था आफ्टर द डेथ ऑफ मिस्टर राज कश्मीरी, उनकी मेमोरी में हमने एक प्ले किया था उर्दू का. I think that was one of the most memorable time for me, where the entire school came together and we did that play in probably record time. So I think that was one of the most memorable period that I enjoyed in Beaconhouse. Other than that, I think teachers को बहुत enjoy किया. अभी तक उनकी बातें याद आती हैं और
नाम शाम याद है सबके?
काफ़ी टीचर्स के ऑफ कोर्स याद हैं. ज़ुबैर साहब उर्दू के टीचर, मिसेस फरीदा शाहिद, इसी तरह मिस्टर आमिर अली साहब इस्लामिक स्टडीज़ के, मजीद साहब. सो ऑफ कोर्स टीचर्स प्ले अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट रोल.
एब्सोल्युटली. आप किस तरह के स्टूडेंट थे? Which group you were in?
Bunking students. But not, I think, not entirely. मैथमेटिक्स से जान जाती थी. उसके अलावा बाकी सब सब्जेक्ट सीखते. मैथमेटिक्स की क्लास अक्सर बंक करते थे. बट कुदरत का करना ये था कि एंड पे आई डिड माई बैचलर्स एज वेल इन मैथमेटिक्स. सो इट वॉज अ टर्न अराउंड. सो मैंने ज़िंदगी में देखा है कि जिन चीज़ों से आप भाग रहे होते हैं, ultimately वही वापस आ जाती हैं आपके पास, and you have to overcome them. And I think that's a key message. You have to overcome your fears.
As they said, during your school life, you make friends for life. Your friends, you want to talk about that? उनके कोई नाम, कोई दोस्त?
I think everybody has friends. हम अभी भी A levels के सारा ग्रुप जो है, we are together, we're friends, we interact. A levels का ग्रुप और O levels के भी काफ़ी दोस्त जो फिर A levels में आए, और we still interact together, we still meet up here and there. A levels में दोस्त थे, साकिब था, रहीम था, then Nasir, then a lot of other friends, Umair Siddiq, Ali Zaman, Khurram Zaman. A lot of them, and with all due apologies if I'm not taking everyone's names.
Right, okay. Actually, if you have to describe your school life in 3 words, what would that be and why?
That's a difficult question. 3 words. I think learning was one. Self-discovery is another. And third is, I think, the cherishing childhood memories, I would say. I think it's one of the best times you should carry, throughout your life.
आपको अपना हाउस याद है? हाउस का नाम?
हाउस मेरे वक्तों में शायद डिसॉल्व हो गए थे, but they were not revived as quickly. But I do remember my class.
अच्छा, हाँ जी, क्या?
Actually, we were a batch who moved from Beaconhouse Model Town Campus. Model Town Campus was up till I think 7th class.
Right.
And then from 7th we moved to Garden Town Campus. उनको उस वक्त सेक्शन नहीं मिला, तो they made a pink section. And we were 8 pink initially. I think that was the year yeah, 96 or 95. And then from there, I moved into Cambridge Brown, 9C Brown, and then 10C Brown, and 11C Brown. And then A levels, of course.
All right. Did you remember the election days? आप लोगों के स्कूल में elections होते थे. How was that time like?
Very good. This was a good experience to vote and elect people, but I never ventured into that.
Right. You're head of sales and marketing. What is one thing about your profession you like, and how Beaconhouse has actually helped you in this particular profession you are in?
I think एक चीज नहीं pinpoint कर सकते. Over the last 16 years of my career, actually I started working quite early out of school. My first job was at Kim's, जहाँ मैंने अपना SAT पढ़ाना शुरू किया. Then from there I moved into LUMS में I started teaching on part-time basis, not in LUMS, outside LUMS. मैं part-time basis में पढ़ाता था कुछ देर. और उसके बाद even to this date, I think if Beaconhouse wouldn't have been there to upgrade my skills to that level, I would not be so soon be in the job market. मेरा एक passion था to get into the job market quite quickly. Beaconhouse gave me confidence. Beaconhouse gave me the skills that I needed to conquer the world, and I still carry them along with me.
Since you were part of the debating society and also the poetry club at Beaconhouse Garden Town Campus, anything would you like to read to us? It would be great.
I think back to my earlier message on keep working towards your goals, keep working towards for the betterment of your life. अमजद साहब का मैं बहुत बड़ा फ़ैन हूँ. आई थिंक उनकी पोइट्री में ये चीज़ बहुत झलकती है और समथिंग वेरी क्लोज टू माई हार्ट. उनका एक शेर है, अमजद ये तकदीर थी उसकी या कुदरत का खेल, गिरा जहाँ पर रात का पंछी थोड़ी दूर उजाला था.
वाह.
और एक फैज साहब का एक शेर है, I think very close to my heart also. It's करो कज्जबी पे सरे कफन, मेरे कातिलों को गुमा ना हो, जो वो कर्ज रखते थे जान पर वो हिसाब आज चुका दिया.
वाह वाह.
की एक नज़म है, आज बाजार में पा बजाना चलो. It's one of my all time favorites. चश्मे नम जाने शरीदा काफ़ी नहीं, तोहमत इश्क पोशीदा काफ़ी नहीं, आज बाजार में पा बजौना चलो. दस्त अफशां चलो, मस्त रक्सा चलो, खाक बरसर चलो, खूब बदामा चलो, राह तकता है सब शहर जाना चलो. हाकिम शहर भी, मजमा आम भी, तीरे इल्ज़ाम भी, संग दुश्नाम भी, सुबह नाशाद भी, रोज़े नाकाम भी, इनका दमसाज अपने सिवा कौन है, शहर जाना में अब बासफ़ा कौन है, दस्ते कातिल के शाया रहा कौन है, रखते दिल बांध लो दिल फिगारो चलो, फिर हम ही कत्लों आए यारो चलो.
And you were part of debating society also, तो उसके ऊपर कुछ बात, कोई इंसिडेंट याद हो?
डिबेटिंग के बहुत सारे इंसिडेंट्स हैं. आई थिंक द फर्स्ट मेजर कंपटीशन that Beaconhouse Garden Town brought back was the HSN College All Pakistan debates. Happened in I think October 1996, and that was the first major All Pakistan declamation contest. I think that was a big moment for me as well as for the school, क्योंकि उससे पहले जो था वो इस लेवल पे I think Beaconhouse was not represented. So I really feel proud that I represented Beaconhouse at that level and won that competition as a third position All Pakistan. उसके बाद बहुत सारे और competitions आए और बहुत सारे और competitions में भी prizes आए, but I think that was one that I cannot forget. The amphitheater of HSN College was really fabulous.
अच्छा, Akib, you have had siblings also in Beaconhouse, since same school or no?
Proudly, we all brothers went to Beaconhouse, starting with my eldest brother. He's a thoroughbred Beaconite, starting from pre-nursery all the way to metric.
So how's it like having siblings in school in the same campus?
Fortunately, that did not happen.
Okay, there were different branches.
No, actually, there's a big gap between my and elder brother, so वो नहीं हुआ.
Right.
So fortunately, I studied alone.
Right, okay.
Or unfortunately, I can't.
Because sometimes there's a comparison between siblings also if they're in the same campus also, so as you want to talk about it. So at school we always have competition. How was the competition like? Were there any rivalries? How did you manage those?
I think over a period of time they fizzle out. What remains is probably good memories, and of course, if they are too harsh, then they remain back. I think I like to carry always in my life the good memories, because that is what paves the way for future.
Absolutely. Pearls of wisdom, what would you like to say to the young minds of Beaconhouse? क्या कहना चाहेंगे आप?
I think एक तो मेरा message ये है कि never quit reading. Reading is one thing that builds you for the future. And reading is something that, in an instant, if you read a book, you can learn anybody's experience in a matter of pages. And that is, I think, priceless. So don't mind spending money on buying books or reading them. आजकल smartphones बहुत readily available है, and there are a lot of digital mediums जिनसे पढ़ा जा सकता है. So that's my first message to the young minds. The second thing is always quest for learning, in the sense that always try out new things. Don't be afraid of taking chances with your life. जितने ज़्यादा आप चांसेस लेते हैं लाइफ में, उतना ज़्यादा आप सीखते हैं, और वो आपका एक्सपीरियंस आपसे कोई नहीं ले सकता. That experience builds you, that experience gives you resilience, that gives you the courage to fight and move on. And life is unfair, so one has to find his weapons and battleground.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, that's Boss Memory Lane with Danish Muneef Qureshi. Thank you so much.